There is a trick that scares even the most top Breath of the Wild speedrunners. Top runners are quivering in their boots whenever they hear mention of this fabled trick. ESC, known as Extended Shield Clip, is a frame-perfect shield clip that can get you through a bunch of walls throughout all of Hyrule, but it also comes at the price of being, well, frame-perfect. Now, if you're new to Breath of the Wild speedrunning, most runners will tell you to skip this trick, saying how it's too inconsistent and saves too little time to be really useful in most situations. They are right. If going for ESC in shrines like Cryo or Magnesis, you are better off normal clipping. If you do go for an ESC, you will have to do it within 2 tries with fast buffering in Cryo, and with Mag, you would have to do it unbuffered to even equal the amount of time saved with a normal clip. ESC relies on a specific frame in a game where we can only buffer 2 to 3 frames with the current buffer method. This is why it's inconsistent. However, ESC can become a lifesaver with shrines that don't have a good normal clip method, or in tests of strength where an ESC can save really bad skews. Before I get into the ESC, I will assume you already know how to normally shield clip. If not, there are plenty of other tutorials out there, but I do plan on going over normal shield clipping in another video. So if you're not already, make sure to subscribe to my channel where I'll be going over most speedrunning tricks / routes in Zelda Breath of the Wild. Also, make sure to join the Zelda Breath of the Wild speedrunning Discord for any questions you might have. Before we get into the specific inputs, there are a few things you need to learn. When doing an ESC, we are looking for a specific frame. That frame being the second flick back frame when Link is in the middle of a skew. On screen, you will see when doing a skew, there are 2 main frames. The first one is when Link jerks back the most. The second is when he's on his way back to his normal position. This is the frame we need when doing the ESC. On this frame, Link needs to hop back on his shield to be able to go into the ESC motion. Now, this sounds a lot harder than it looks, but there is something very useful in this game that will give us this specific frame, the rune menu. The rune menu is special because it basically freezes time and lets us see exactly what frame we're on. So by spamming this menu, we can see exactly what frame we're on as long as you're buffering fast enough. But, like I said earlier, usually you can only go through 2 to 3 frames. So it comes at the risk of being inconsistent. Now that we have gone over the skew frame we need, let's talk about the shrines themselves, because this is what you will probably be most likely skipping through. So if you already don't know, most of every shrine in Breath of the Wild has a different skew setup / method with clipping in. An ESC works universally. Every shrine with exception to some have the same basic setup. The basic setup is as follows. You must get skew at the right or left base of the shrine by doing a stationary shield jump. After you acquire a specific skew, you must go up to the opposite side of the shrine door. So for example, if you went on the right side of the base of a shrine, the ESC will most likely work on the left side of the door. A personal way I find this the most consistent is when in the skew spot, I make sure Link is facing directly at the middle part of the door. Then while keeping the specific angle, I walk up to the door on the side I need to go to. Now that you're at the spot, it's all about the inputs. Now quickly go into a forward shield jump, then unequip your shield. Now through buffering, you want to find the second snapback skew frame, which when at a shrine door, it kind of looks like Link is almost all the way clipping through the door. Once you find the correct frame, you must go to re-equip your shield. Now once you're re-equipping your shield, you must still hold ZR, then hold the A button while in the rune menu. Now when you let go of the rune menu, Link should mount his shield and go right through the door. Now let's go over some troubleshooting that might help you while you're doing this trick. Something you might hear often is that if you have a really strong skew, ESC will be harder to pull off. So if that's the case and you have a really strong skew, try going for a weaker one and see if that helps. If you can't find the frame to start the ESC, which can happen quite often, it's probably because you either need to try to buffer quicker, which you can practice and get better at, or just get lucky. Like I said before, you can only really buffer 2 to 3 frames in this game, so that's why it's inherently inconsistent. Do not do this on any Great Plateau shrines, or you can try if you want to go for it, but you will most likely lose time overall. Now if you swear you got the correct frame and your skew seems good, try to change your positioning on the door. Sometimes changing your positioning a little bit, your angle, can help go through the door. It's sometimes really finicky. I don't know a really precise angle besides the one I gave, so just kind of mess around with it a little bit. In Test the Strength Shrines, if you want to ESC through the gate, you want to acquire the specific skew to be able to ESC. The best way I do this is to make sure Link is all the way up against the gate. Now that he's in this positioning, you want to do 2 swinging backflips. And on the second one, you want to go into the swing, and in the middle of the swing, shield jump to get the skew. Now this isn't always consistent, but it works out for me usually. You could also try out this fidgety method, where you kind of like walk Link up on the side of this little angle, but it's a lot more consistent if you do it the way I told you. Now, it is as simple as shield jumping against the gate, doing the specific ESC inputs, and you should be through the gate if you did it all correctly. Now, there are plenty of different areas that ESC could help out with. Generally, if normal clip is hard or inconsistent, I opt for an ESC since it generally helps out better. There are also some shrines where a normal clip is much harder to get, so an ESC usually works out for the better. Remember though, ESC is inherently inconsistent. Most top runners wouldn't recommend it in areas like the Great Plateau. ESC in other situations, however, can be extremely useful, and I recommend anyone trying to do a category with Test the Strength Shrines to be acquainted with it. I will also, later on, be making a Test of Strength Shrine tutorial. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see that. Thank you so much. If you have issues, make sure to post them in the comments, and I will try my best to help out with any issues anyone might have. You can also join the Breath of the Wild Speedrunning Discord and ask questions in there. If you want to join my personal Discord, you can do that as well. And also, if you're interested in 100 runs of Breath of the Wild, I'm live almost every day at twitch.tv/JoeDun. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next tutorial.